New construction is everywhere. The age of the homes, the average age of the homes in this area is getting younger and younger. And even though I am even in new construction communities on a weekly basis, there are so many different builders to keep up with, from Parish all the way down to Northport. So then as a consumer, it's even more challenging. Now, in the past, I've done a couple of general videos about new construction and how it works and the ins and outs of all of that. But in today's video, I'm gonna spotlight one community by one builder, and today I chose Grand Park by Neal Communities. Neal is a fantastic builder. Now let's say you already know, man, Grand Park or Neal is not a fit for me. That's okay. I still encourage you to watch this video because I'm going to touch on so many different topics that's going to be great food for thought that you can apply to any new construction community, any builder. So I think this is going to be a great help for you. Hi, I'm Jill Thomas and I'm here to help you. There are so many builders out there, and I feel like every time I turn around, I'm hearing of a new one, and they're all so different. They all bring something different to the table, and that's what you need to kind of dig in and discover. Whether it's just the floor plans, the quality of the construction, of course, the price point, what they offer in their communities, even how they go about the building process. There's just great variety, and then each builder can even vary from community to community. So just when you think you got it figured out, man, you walk into a different community by the same builder, and they do it a little different. So that's why I wanted to start spotlighting, highlighting some of these different builders and the communities they offer. So like I mentioned, we're going to talk about Neal Communities, and the specific neighborhood we're going to touch on today is Grand Park. Number one, the location. Now, I do like the location of Grand Park. Now, you're going to see that a lot of the new construction communities, these builders, are going farther east of I-75, and Grand Park is no exception. And of course, the reason why is anything farther west or closer to the water has already been developed. There's older homes there. There's established neighborhoods. So unless they're just buying up some little old piece of farmland, you're going to see properties or these new homes farther east. So that's what Grand Park is. It's off of Clark Road, east of I-75, and then you're gonna turn south on Ibis, and it's gonna be back like a mile or two then south off of that. Now, when you go back there, it almost kind of has this little country feel to it, and I sort of like that. Now, I'm sure in time they're gonna widen that road. There's other builders back there scooping up land and building as well. There's already one established community back there. Now, when you go back off of Clark Road, you're gonna drive past Twin Lakes Park, which is a huge park. We'll talk about more in just a moment. Now, what is kind of nice about Grand Park is that you're close to I-75, but not so close where you're capturing all of that road noise. When I was out there, I really didn't hear it. Can't say that from all the properties there, you would never ever hear it, but I think that it's muffled pretty well. So it's nice in terms of that location that you're close to 75, I-75, the interstate, so you can jump on there and head north or south. And then if you keep going west on Clark, right away, there's shops and restaurants, everything that you would need, all the practical things in life. So even though it has a little bit of a country feel, the community itself, you're not really in the country at all. And then if you keep going west on Clark, you're going to hit 41, which also runs north and south parallel to I-75. And then so head north, you're going to hit downtown Sarasota. But really the best part is you keep going west, you go over 41, and you're at the South Bridge to Siesta Key. So you're not terribly far. I didn't map it out. I didn't see what Google Maps or anybody said about how long it would take you to get out there. But I would say, depending on traffic, 15, 20 minutes at the most. And of course, always once you get to the beach, finding the parking spot sometimes takes longer than actually driving there. So that's the reality of it. So this is a nice, solid location. Number two, the amenities. Okay, Grand Park is like amenities on steroids. It's really got it all between the clubhouse, a resort style pool and spa, just not like a fitness center where they've got equipment, but they're going to have, I forgot how they called it, like a fitness room, a workout room. So they might have yoga classes and things like that. There's going to be dog parks, walking trails. There's lots of green space. They're going to have a full-time activities director. There's going to be there's 2 tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts. So there is a lot going on on in Grand Park. So if you're looking for a lot of activity, kind of that resort style feeling of where you're living here in Florida, this might be a really good option for you. Now, in addition to the fun stuff in terms of amenities, this is something else that's kind of nice, is that they're going to take care of all of your lawn maintenance. They're going to mow and trim and, blow the debris. They're going to take care of fertilizing. They're going to do a lot of the weeding and everything, even in your flower beds. So that's fantastic. So much is going to be taken care of for you. And then also there's a guard, or no, there's not a guard. There's going to be an electric gate. There's a couple of electric gates to get in and out of the community. Golf carts are allowed, and it is on natural gas, so you can have your gas stove. One thing I was surprised to learn about Grand Park is that fences are permitted, because sometimes in some of these communities, fences are not allowed at all, especially when lawn maintenance is included, because when lawn maintenance is included, it's so much easier for these lawn companies just to come and go the front yards, backyards, there's nothing really blocking except for maybe a swimming pool, which they can just sort of go around. So with the fences, they have to go in and out and trim around where those fences are. So you are permitted fences even when you're on water. There's a lot of communities that will maybe permit fences if you're backed up to another home, if you're backed up to a preserve, but if you're on water, they won't allow fences. Now, here's the thing. It's just not any fence. You can't have a privacy fence. It's going to be one of those fences that are maybe like 3.5, 4 feet tall. They kind of look like wrought iron, not that they're really iron. Sometimes they call them like brushed bronze, or they have some fancy names for them. But basically those little fences that you're going to see, and you'll probably see some in some of the video clips I have here, where in front of like the model homes, they always have fences in the front yard along the road there, just so people can't just park on the road and walk right into the models. You have to go through the sales office. So those little fences there, that's the size. So if you have a pony of a dog that can scale those fences, that might not be enough to hold them back. But if you have, medium-sized dog, or a dog that's not so ambitious, then the fences will work just fine. So that's kind of nice that fences are permitted in this neighborhood. Now, in addition to the amenities that are within the community, there's some nice things that are just outside of the community. I already mentioned Twin Lakes Park. At Twin Lakes Park, it's a huge complex. There's a football field, there's soccer fields, there are a lot of little baseball fields. I've seen my fair share of baseball games with the Little League, my friends' kids playing baseball over the years. There's a couple really nice playgrounds there as well. So there's all of this extra stuff right there. So if you have kids, if they're involved in these activities, or you just want to go and watch a game, they're right there. And so that's kind of nice. And then also adjacent to Grand Park is a community called Sarasota. It's a residential area, but they do have a golf course there, and you can join that if you want. So if you're a golfer, that's kind of nice that right next door, you pass it going to Grand Park. Sarasota is right there, and you could sign up for a golf membership to go golfing. A few other things I wanted to mention about Grand Park, first of all, are the schools, because there was no other good category to put this into. The schools for Grand Park are Lakeview Elementary, Sarasota Middle, and Riverview High School. So those are really high-rated schools. I suggest you take a look at those, though. Just don't take my word for it. And then one other thing that I think is really important to mention about Neal as a whole, Neal Communities, is typically what you're going to see when they build that out, when they plan a community. There's a few really nice things that I appreciate. First of all, they try to maintain a lot of green space. So you're going to see a lot of extra space along the perimeter of the property as a whole, not like the property or house, but the entire community. They try to really maintain that. And so it just adds a nice feel to it. And then not only the perimeter, but then sparse throughout the community. And so it just gives it a lot of visual appeal. Something else that's a wonderful visual appeal that I really appreciate that they do is that they really, when they build the roads, they just don't try to keep it all super cookie cutter, all, right corners, sharp turns, that there's a lot of winding roads. Now, in the end, it costs them more money to do that because they're not able to jam in as many homes into these lots. Not that there's a ton of space in between the homes, and we'll talk about that again in a second. But what it does, it just, again, gives it a nice visual appeal. So when you're driving down the road, you just don't see like house. It's just very attractive to see that. So those are nice things that Neal brings to the table. Now, I will say that Neal does have a couple of smaller communities where there's like less than 100 homes. So in that case, they still do some green space around the edge for sure, but they don't do it as much, especially sparsed in between. And of course, because there's only going to be a few roads, it's not going to be as winding. All right, so it depends on the size of the community, but generally speaking, Neal is top notch when it comes to that. And then, the other thing too, which is nice, is when you do have more of the winding roads, then sometimes more of the lots are going to be slightly pie shaped, not entirely. It's not going to be super extreme always, but a little bit. And again, it gives some variation with these homes. So not everything is lined up perfectly. Everything's offset just a smidge. And I appreciate that visual appeal that they offer. Number 3, let's talk about the homes. Okay, this is a really, really fun part to talk about. Grand Park is going to be a pretty large community. When it's all said and done, there's going to be about 900 home sites, or front doors sometimes is how they describe it. And it's going to be a variety of types of properties. There's going to be villas, which are like almost like buying half of a duplex. You're going to have one shared wall, so you're going to have that adjoining wall. You'll still have a garage. And then there's going to be single family homes, and those homes are going to range anywhere from about 1,400 square feet up to about 3,000 square feet. And then they haven't started it yet, but they're projecting that probably in about 2 years, there's going to be a section of townhomes as well. So a good variety of sizes of properties there. Now, they just opened in December of 2020, and up to this point, they've sold about 120 home sites. So they still have a ways to go. They're going to be here for a while. So even if you're listening to this video in a year, 18 months from now, the information is still pretty accurate. The only thing that would be changing really are probably the prices. So this is good life here on this video that I'm doing, because they're going to be around, like I said, for a while yet. Now, one thing that's really important for you to understand when you're looking at builders, typically what they're going to do is name some of their properties. They're going to put them in different categories, or they call them a series, S-E-R-I-E-S, a different series, and that's going to impact what size lot the house is going to go on. Now, if it's one of those smaller communities that I already mentioned, where there's maybe less than 100 homes, they're all going to be about the same series unit. You can put any house on any lot. But when you've got different size properties like this and you offer so much variety, they're going to really break it down a bit more. So let me explain it to you. First of all, the Coral series are going to be for the villas, those little side-by-side properties. We have the adjoining wall that I mentioned. The next series in Grand Park is called the Cruise series, and those homes are the smaller homes. They range from 1,400 to 2,400 square feet, and the lots are only going to be 33 feet wide, so they're going to be pretty small. The next group is called the Celebration series, and those homes range between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet, and the lots are getting bigger now. They're going to be 40 feet wide. The next series is called the Cove series, and those homes are all pretty much the same size. They're going to be like 2,300 to 2,400 square feet, and the lots are going to be 45 feet wide. And here's what's nice is, starting with the Cove series, all these homes have a 3-car garage. So far, everybody else only has a 2-car garage. So Cove and up, 3-car garage. And then the final series is the Coastal series, and those homes run between 2,300 and 3,000 square feet, and those lot sizes are 60 feet, and again, they have 3-car garages. So bigger homes, much wider lots. Now, as you've heard, I don't know if you picked up on this, but sometimes the homes that are in the lower series with the smaller lot sizes are almost the same square footage as some of the homes with the bigger lots. So this is what happens is homes that have the smaller lots, they're going to definitely be 2-story homes. So the homes are going to be more narrow and they're going to go up. The homes that have similar size square footage with the wider lots, less is going to be upstairs. It's all going to be on the ground floor, or most of it on the ground floor. Sometimes there might be a little loft or one extra bedroom upstairs, or that could be an option, but otherwise most of it's going to be on the ground, and that's why it justifies a larger lot, that wider lot. Now, here's one question I get all the time. Jill, I'm just going to mix and match my homes and the lots. So give me a smaller home that maybe should be on a 40-foot lot, and I want to buy the 60-foot lot and put it on there, and then I have a great big yard. I love it. I love that concept. Unfortunately, sorry, my dog is barking. The neighbors are doing some work, having a window replaced, so my dog's going nuts over that. So that's a great idea to think, okay, I'm going to mix and match so I can have a bigger lot. I'm sorry to say, they will not let you do that. Doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what you ask, doesn't matter how much you're willing to pay, doesn't happen. No mixing and matching. If they say this is the series this home is in, this is the size lot it goes on, that's it. No options. One other thing I wanted to mention about the lots is with the setback lines, there's going to be 12 feet front between you and your neighbor. Again, unless you have one of those pie-shaped lots that might give it a little bit more wiggle room, but the closest you'll be with your neighbors is going to be 12 feet. And that's going to be the majority of the properties, but you could luck out, or maybe sometimes if there's a little easement. I had some people build with Neal, and just so happens there was an easement there, so they got a little bit more extra space in between them and their neighbors on the one side. So that worked out really nice, but you really can't plan for that. Sadly, it's just sort of luck of the draw in that case. Neal Homes offers semi-customization. So they do offer a lot of options, but if it's not in their package of options, you cannot do it at all. People will say that all the time. Well, can I just move this wall? Can I just do this here? Can I just do that? Nope, 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 nope. If it's not on their list, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry to say. And that's the case with all the builders, unless we're high-end, fully customizable, where you can move things around. So for instance, often in the master bathroom, there may be an option where you can have a walk-in shower, a large walk-in shower, or maybe they'll do a smaller walk-in shower and then a separate tub. But you say, oh no, I like it all together. I want the shower and the tub together. Okay, if they don't offer that, it's not going to happen. I had some friends build with Neal. The wife loves a separate tub, loves it. But in the floor plan that they picked out, that is not an option at all. So she couldn't have it. Something else that people ask all the time is, I want a 3-car garage. So like I said before, only in those last 2 series could you have a 3-car garage. In any of the other ones, even if you want to pay extra, you can't have that, the 3rd stall in the garage for your car. Now, sometimes they'll offer a garage extension. Some of the builders do that. Again, not always and not in every community, but maybe you can bump it out another 4 feet. But so there is customization, just not anything and everything that you envision or want to do. They do offer a lot of lovely things, and if you look on their websites and look at floor plans, you'll see the generic floor plan, and over to the side there might be some other renderings like in red color, and they'll say here's an option, or sometimes you can actually click buttons and you'll see the changes right on the floor plan. It's very interactive. So those are the things you can do. Outside of that, you can't do anything else. Number 4, prices and fees. Okay, so then the next question I always get is, how much is this gonna cost me, Jill? Well, I don't wanna give you crazy details like I did about the square footage of the homes and things like that, because probably by the time this video goes live, the prices are going to change. So that's a moving target right there. But what I'm going to do is I'll put a link in below for Grand Park. If you click on that, you're going to see what the base price of the homes are in real time. Now, please take note that whatever these numbers are, this is just the starting price. So that's just the base price of the house with nothing, no upgrades, nothing fancy at all. So when you buy new construction, there are 4 numbers you have to factor in. First is that base price of the house. Then you're going to have to pay for the home site or for the lot. Neal likes to call them home sites, not lots. And then any structural changes. So like I said, if you wanted to extend the garage, if you did want to change it from a full walk-in shower to a shower and tub, that would be a structural change. If you want to increase the height of the interior doors, that's a structural change. So those get factored in. And then the 4th thing is all the pretty stuff going to the design center. That's so much fun and kind of overwhelming at times to make all those choices. So those are the 4 numbers that go in. So when you just see that bottom number, that's just the starting point. So don't get too excited yet. On average, a lot of the builders will say tack on about 20% of the base price of the house to give you an idea of what the total cost is going to be. But again, if you just bought the house and the lot itself or the home site, of course, that number is going to be much lower. I've never met anybody who hasn't made any changes to a house. Now, when I go to resales, I walk through a house that's 3, 4, 5, 7 years old. I can walk through and go, okay, they did very, very little in upgrades here, which is fine to keep that price low. So you can go gangbusters and do some really crazy things and pay a lot more money for the house, or you can keep it pretty simple. So really, you're in control of a lot of that outside of the initial price of the home and the home site. Now, just to give you a teensy idea of what the prices in Grand Park, at the low end, the base price of the properties are going to start at $400,000, and right now they go up to $720,000. Now, besides, of course, paying for the house, there's going to be fees, because I already mentioned all those fabulous amenities and the gate and getting your lawn mowed and the pool and the fitness center, and somebody's got to maintain all these trails and trees and all this extra space, right? Somebody has to take care of everything. Well, guess what? You get to take care of it by paying for it. So in Grand Park, there are two specific fees you need to be aware of. There's the regular HOA dues, and those vary and they range depending on which series you're buying in. So if you've got the villa, it's going to be less. If I think the Cove series is the highest level. I think that's what I said. I could be wrong on that. Then you're going to be paying more. So currently right now, HOA dues run between $225 a month and $270 a month, which, considering they do your yard work, that's not too bad. Now, the other thing that you're going to have to pay for are those CDD fees, because somebody had to come out there and bring out, the roads, had to bring out the sewer, had to bring out the water, everything. All that has to be paid for. Of course, even just with a growing neighborhood like that, the school system, fire stations. So all that has to get factored in with all of this crazy new construction we have going on. So CDD fees help offset all of that. So, and you pay that with your property taxes. And again, depending on which property you're buying, it's going to determine what your CDD fees are. And annually, those fees are going to be anywhere right now from $1,000 a year to $2,000 a year. So when you package it all together and kind of break it down monthly to give you an idea of what that additional expense would be, it's going to cost you somewhere between $310 and $434 extra per month for all of that. But again, I think the association dues are paid quarterly, the CDD fees are paid annually, but it kind of helps you in the budgeting mind that's what you're looking at. So, it could be around $400 extra per month. And then when you move in, there's an initial expense that they want you to pay to help kind of build up the budget, build those things up. And that's not unusual now in a lot of these neighborhoods when you close, and even some of the resale neighborhoods where they want you to, kick in some money to go towards those reserves to help keep things maintained. So in Grand Park right now, those fees are anywhere between $2,700 and $3,300 once you close. Now, of course, all these things are subject to change. Right now, the amenity center, everything is not complete yet. So it could be, they didn't tell me this is just Jill talking based on experience, that once those things are complete, maybe those numbers will go up a little bit, or maybe not. Maybe they're already factoring some of that in. So just prepare yourself that these numbers aren't set in stone, but it certainly gives you an idea of the range of everything. Number 5, the current buying process. All right, so new construction is not the same way it used to be when it comes to buying a house. Historically, you could go into the sales office, or with Neal, they call it the Discovery Center. Everything with Neal's definitely an experience, the way they describe everything. It's kind of fun, and sometimes it's all right, that's some good marketing there. Okay, so with Neal, you go into the Discovery Center, you talk to the sales agent, and previously you would go, okay, these are the homes we really like. This is the type of lot I'm looking for, whether it's on water or preserve, or you're willing to spend more money for the home site, you want to save money on the home site, you kind of pick it out, and then you just sort of get process started, right? It was kind of no fuss. Well, now there are waiting lists with every builder. It's just not one builder, one community. They're all different, and all the builders handle this a little differently. In Neal, they have waiting lists. So once they release so many lots, they'll start calling their customers who are on these waiting lists and saying, listen, this is what's available that will accommodate the house that you want. Would you like it? Yes or no? This is the new price on it. Because again, these prices will be changing. Is this something you can still afford? Are you interested? Yes or no? If it's yes, they kind of get the ball started with them. If no, they go to the next person on the list. With other builders, it could be a bidding process. They're going to say, okay, this lot's available now. Here are all the people who are eligible for it. If you want to put a bid on it, let's say the lot's $40,000, and then it's a blind bid, highest and best, so you could be offering because let's say it's 40,000, some people will be offering 50. I think a lot of people are going to be offering even more than that. And then you may or may not get that lot. So with Neal, they do have waiting lists. So that's how they're managing that. Some months they might only release a few home sites. I know in the month of January, they released 11. They're already sold January of 2022, where we're at right now. And it's just because the demand is so high, they cannot keep up with, the workers, the materials, whether it's trying to get windows or framing or what have you, even appliances, it can be a struggle. So that's what they're working on right now, is just learning how to manage that with this new normal, with where we're at the moment. Now, with the waiting lists, you could be waiting sometimes a few weeks, it could be 5 months. It just depends on how things unfold. And with other builders who have waiting lists too, or the bidding process, I've had some pretty good success with getting people under contract fast. I think a key to that is just staying in touch with the sales agent, letting them know that you're interested, kind of like the gentle squeaky wheel gets the grease. You cannot bribe them. I've joked about that with the sales agents, not that I would do that because I would lose my license, but if they accepted a bribe, they could lose their license as well. So don't think that you can go and slip a sales agent, a healthy gift card or some cash or something to get ahead. People have tried, it's not working out. So we just definitely covered our licenses and our jobs and our reputation more than, making a few dollars. So sometimes that's out there, but it's not working. Another thing that Neal is doing in some of their communities, right now they're not doing it so much in Grand Park because it's such a new community, my dog wants to play, is they'll build spec homes, meaning that they will choose the lot, choose the house, choose the structural changes, go through the design center. They'll have a designer choose everything, and then they go through the permitting, and sometimes they'll get you under contract pretty quick, or they'll wait till the drywall's up, and then they put somebody under contract. So sometimes we're going to see more of that with Neal and some of the other builders as well. You're going to see these spec homes. So what's nice about those is you don't have to wait as long to have the house built, but you don't get to make any choices. So there's pros and cons to that as well with the spec homes. Okay, Carly wants some attention. So, and then the final thing I want to mention about the home buying process for new construction is you can use a realtor, and the builder does not change the pricing at all based on whether or not you are working with an agent. So that's what's nice. And because of all my experience with doing so much new construction, I can really, really be a benefit and a help. Now the sales agent is there, for the builder, and they do a very nice job, and they're kind and helpful, and they'll answer a lot of questions. But sometimes buyers find it really nice to be able to work with somebody who has that experience and can kind of give some direction and say, hey, here are the things you should be focusing on. Here's maybe some things you can do after you purchase the home, if you're able, and help kind of manage all those things a bit. So you can use a real estate agent, and builders are always very good about that. The one thing is I'd have to be there with you when you first go in. So we have to get you registered together. So that's really an important thing. So in conclusion, Neal is a really good, solid, quality builder. They've got a great reputation. They're a regional company. They're not nationwide, so they're not so huge. They do a lot for the community. They offer a lot in terms of charity things. They're just very much involved around here. So Neal does a nice job. I personally like them as a builder. I've had great experience. My customers who have built with them really enjoyed it and liked the house. They would use Neal again. Okay, so like I said before, I'm Jill Thomas. I'm a real estate agent here in the Sarasota area. And each week I do bring new videos about the Sunshine State, about living here in Sarasota, and of course, real estate. So if this has been on your radar to move to the area, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and keep watching the videos. Now, I'm always available to you to help answer questions, help navigate the process. So give me a call, text, or email me. I'm happy to help. And even if in the end the Sarasota area is not a good fit for you, that's okay. I can even refer you to another agent. I've got somebody in Orlando, in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, Fort Myers, Naples. Boy, Carly really wants to play. And so I can help you out with that. Well, I better let you go because she needs some attention. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great day.